All right, you ready for my lame hook?
Yes, I am. I'm so anticipating this.
Oh no, it's gonna like completely fall flat. It's not. I meant lame in like
Wait.
actual, not like in
Fall flat like Bigfoot's feet on the ground. Oh, okay.
That
okay.
might be a better hook than what. Footprints should be the only thing left behind when exploring out in nature. Have you ever stopped and wondered whose footprints you might be looking at?
Dun dun dun. See, we just need some like dramatic background music and some sound effects.
Well,
Bigfoot
and that's what
roaring.
I was like, most of our like past episodes have kind of been like more like serious or like kind of a little bit darker topics, whereas like this is a bit more lighthearted, a bit more fun, whimsical, and so I was like trying to think of like a cool juicy hook, but I was like, I got nothing. And I was like, first, footprints are used to solve murder cases, and I'm like, wow, we need to like dial it back a bit, Taisha.
Yeah, actually, we're a true crime podcast now. We are odd criminology.
Ooh.
Hey.
That would be an incredibly interesting podcast, Odd Criminology. I mean, It's all odd anyway, but
we could do like really weird cases, like when was it Pepsi had like a rewards thing with the bottle caps, and they said if you got like a certain amount you would get an Apache helicopter, and then some guy went out there and got enough and then went to Pepsi, and Pepsi was like, actually legally we're not even allowed to give it to you, sorry. And see, okay, but like oh, so for anyone new listening, hi, my name is Ivy.
And I am Taisha, and this is your favorite anthropology podcast, Odd Anthropology.
Yeah, emphasis on odd, yeah.
And like I said, we're going to go a little bit more lighthearted today, a bit more whimsical. I was kind of inspired, or I don't know if inspired is the right word, but more like touched, or with the passing of Jane Goodall, I thought maybe we could... talk a little bit about the evolution of bipedalism, and so how we got to be walking upright. And then also, since I was trying to think of, what we could add that would be odd, and I thought about our old friend Sasquatch.
Yeah, our buddy. Our bestie.
Yeah. Thought we could talk a little bit about, our theories on Bigfoot. And, I also have heard that they don't like being called Bigfoot. So I'm going to try to make sure I say Sasquatch, because I don't want to be disrespectful, but...
There you go. I looked up the, indigenous, more proper name for Bigfoot, and I have the pronunciation, repeatedly phonetically spelled out for me, so I can... for anyone that's curious, most commonly called Istiaha. Istiaha.
Yeah, and you sent me that really beautiful YouTube video from and that was so beautiful. We'll definitely have to include that in the show notes.
Yeah, we can talk about that at the end for sure.
Yeah.
But Sasquatch, Sasquanch, Bigfoot, big feet, the biggest feet you've ever seen.
Yes. But more on them later. So our ancient hominid ancestors were built for both tree living and being on the ground. Most of the time they would be walking around on all fours, but on occasion, like when they were needing to carry things, they found that walking short distances on 2 feet was pretty handy. So they began to spend more time on the ground, and with climate change causing the need to travel to different areas, walking further distances or traveling further distances, walking upright became an evolutionary advantage. The evidence found so far puts the start of bipedalism about 6 million years ago. We see this evolution taking place by looking at the anatomy of our ancestors. So starting from the top, and also while I was doing my notes, I realized that what I'm about to dive into is probably a lot more visual, like needs to be more visual than than podcast media. But I don't know, Google.
Wow.
Let's do some Googling.
Google,
Look at some
go
pictures.
to our Instagram or something. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some good pictures picked out. But so starting from the top, if you were to look at where a chimpanzee's skull meets its spine, it's much more horizontal. It's like more towards the back of the skull. And our early hominid ancestors, we start to see this meeting place move more underneath into like the base of the skull. And the final placement we see in ourselves with the spine coming right out of the base of the skull. So speaking of the spine, as we spent more time on the ground and walking upright, our spine begins to get more of the S shape that we see today. And this curve helps our lower back absorb shock while we walk. So that was the benefit of that. And as we move a little bit farther down, our hips became wider and more bowl-shaped, keeping everything in place, all our insides, and provided better balance. And our leg bones became longer and stronger to support the weight of walking upright and to provide a longer stride, helping our ancestors travel further distances. And then finally, our feet. If you were to look at a chimpanzee's foot, their big toe is a lot like our thumb. Their feet kind of look more like hands because they are grasping at the branches of the trees. So they have an opposable thumb. Not quite as opposable as they can't do the like touching all your fingers to your thumb, but being able to grasp onto branches. And so as our ancestors spent more time upright, the big toe, or it's called the hallux, began to move more in line with our other toes. So more what we see today. Mm-hmm. And then we also see a larger heel bone, which again is absorbing the shock of that first impact, and then shorter toes to make that push off a bit quicker and easier. And so all these little changes over time led to us being able to walk and run fully upright about 1.9 million years ago.
Wow. So we've been upright for a piping hot minute then.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
For some reason, like, no matter how much I'm reminded of how long we've been around and like our earliest like hominid ancestors, I still just get baffled when I start hearing like million getting thrown out there. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I am wasting all of this evolution by sitting on my tushy most of the day. So yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm sure, yeah, we're slowly seeing more evolutionary changes happening with the more we spend at desks and on our phones and such. So.
I remember years ago, there was like some fear kind of campaign that went around, like, here's what humans will look like if we stay addicted to our cell phones. And we're like really big foreheads and we're bald and we have hunchbacks and we have really big round eyes because we're just staring at things in our face. And everyone was freaked out that that's what we were going to look like in 100 years.
It wasn't Wall-E. Wall-E didn't get it right.
I know. I mean, sometimes it starts to kind of feel like that a little. I forgot about that movie. I need to rewatch it.
Okay, so just quick aside. Our town just did like their downtown trick or treat where the businesses hand out candies and they block off the street and all the kids. It's just mass chaos, but we went to that and there was this young child and I believe he was in a wheelchair, but his family they built a giant Wall-E that he was just rolling around on, and it was the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Yes, I could just picture him rolling around in that with what is that song, Riding Dirty, playing in the background. They see me rolling. They hate it. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love seeing parents that just like help their kids go all out in their
Yes.
costumes.
Yes. And yes, even though this is the November episode, yes, it's just the week of Halloween coming up. So
Yeah, so don't get mad. Old news. Old news. But November is still a spooky month. Veil is still thin between the worlds in a lot of cultures. November
Yep.
1st is All Souls Day. So I
Yep.
mean,
well,
yeah.
in Gaelic and Gaelic, Samhain means November, and that's the name for the
I
month.
didn't know that.
Yes. Or at least like Scottish Gaelic. Again, I'm not entirely sure on Irish Gaelic, but yeah. So the Samhain season continues through into November.
Okay, and for anyone that doesn't know that's listening, Samhain is kind of the blueprint for the Halloween we have today. A lot of those traditions were brought to the U.S. by Irish immigrants. And, anyways, so there's the link between Halloween, Samhain, but Samhain could be November. And so, anyways, that's why it's okay that we're talking about Halloween in November.
Yep.
Totally unrelated to the topic of the
Nope.
episode.
But you know what? We're filling in some space because I'm like, oh no, I'm almost done. At least talking about the bipedalism part.
But this is important to get to the main topic, Bigfoot.
What we're all
Not
here.
the main topic, but you know what? We all love Bigfoot.
We got to be a little bit educational. So one of the coolest, well, at least in my opinion, archaeological finds supporting our upright hominin ancestors is the Laetoli footprints. In 1976, paleontologist Mary Leakey led a team digging in Laetoli, Tanzania. They found a layer of volcanic ash that had cemented animal tracks in it. And I'm sure it was fascinating to see the tracks of all these different ancient animals and be able to learn about a bit more about what was alive at the time. But 2 years later, in 1978, Paul Abel joined the team, and he uncovered what appeared to be more human-like footprints. The footprints create a trail that is 88 feet or 27 meters long, and they contain about 70 footprints.
Whoa.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, it's like a nice long stroll.
Yeah, that they were promenading however thousands of years ago.
The paleontologists place the age, oh, here we go. The paleontologists place the age of these prints to about 3.6 million years.
Oh, many thousands. I wasn't that far off.
No, you're close. Ballpark.
Yeah.
And so that makes Australopithecus afarensis the most likely creator of the footprints. This is the same species as Lucy, one of the first of this species to be found. And I guess just kind of a quick thing on Lucy. So yeah, she was one of the first of the Australopithecus afarensis to be discovered. And it was at her time like one of the oldest ancestors we had found. So she was kind of a big deal, and she's named Lucy because when they were like checking out her skeleton on the lab, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was playing in the background, so they named her Lucy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that makes it so magical.
Right? Every time you hear that song, you can think of Lucy.
Where's she on view at? Oh, she's in Germany? Oh, I can't feasibly get to Germany tomorrow and go see her for myself. This is not fair.
Well, I mean, you can look up the picture of her.
That'll do. That'll do. I'll just fake it like the guy faked the bones.
Piltdown.
Oh my god. Piltdown Man. Yeah, I'm just going to pull a Piltdown Man and fake some Lucy bones and get her in a museum.
There you go. Yeah, we've got the American Lucy over here.
Yeah. I'll call her like Lucille or something.
Throw a red wig on her.
Yep. some glasses like they do in movies. Someone puts on glasses and all of a sudden you have no idea their real identity.
Right. All right. So the footprints found in Laetoli showed all of the hallmarks of a bipedal hominin, with the big toe in line with the other toes, the heel strike and the toe off, basically just meaning where the big toe pushes off. And there appear to be 3 or 4 individual sets of footprints that make up the Laetoli footprints. The prints were most likely created when these individuals walked through wet volcanic ash, and then the volcano erupted again, and another layer of ash covered the footprints, preserving them for us to find millions of years later.
Do you know if they lived or probably died?
I mean, they're definitely dead, but
I mean, yeah.
I don't think the volcano was the cause of their death.
I would rather believe that they all got away and lived and were fine.
But yeah, so I don't think that the volcano, it just happened to be like, you know, the volcano erupted, it rained, they walked through it, and then like after they were gone, the volcano erupted again, but soon enough that like the footprints were still there and encased them, preserved it. But one kind of thought that some people have had that this could have been a family unit walking together, as like the footprints, like there were kind of like a bigger set, a little bit smaller set, and then like a really small one. And so some people have speculated that maybe it was a family on a walk together. But yeah, that's one of those ones that, you know, again, we'll never know, but we can think that it was a nice family stroll.
Again, I'm choosing to believe that it was a nice family stroll and they went and lived long, happy, healthy lives. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So that was pretty much my little spiel on bipedalism. So let's jump into the myth and legend, the bipedal and footprint leaving Sasquatch.
Our bipedal king. Yeah. I don't think that one's going to stick.
Before getting into any theories yet, do you believe in Sasquatch?
Oh, 100,000,000%. And no one will convince me otherwise. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one to believe in.
Yeah. Like some cryptids lose me a little bit, but like Sasquatch? Oh, of course.
Well, and you're kind of in the home area of Sasquatch, right? Being out in the Pacific Northwest.
Yep, Pacific Northwest. We have like the earliest alleged sightings, but also our indigenous people have like centuries of oral traditions of their own, you know, who they equate to who we call Bigfoot. So yeah, I'm in Sasquatch territory. So
weren't you recently like on like a little trip and you went to like it was like a coffee shop or something that was like Bigfoot themed or something?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm spacing on the name of it because it just looked really cool. It's this little teeny tiny coffee shop. It was like an hour or 2 drive outside of Seattle. I don't remember it being too far. And it's like up in the mountains, kind of lush forest. And it's all totally Bigfoot themed. It looked like it dropped out of Gravity Falls. If you've ever watched Gravity Falls, that's the whole vibe. Yeah, I'll have to find them and I'll post about them for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, like you had said, the Pacific Northwest is like had Sasquatch stories forever, starting with the indigenous people that live there. And like we had mentioned at the start of the episode, Ivy had found this really beautiful YouTube video that was put out that some of the indigenous people talk about their experiences with Sasquatch and how they feel about him as a relative and an ancestor. And it was just really beautiful. So we'll definitely have to include that. But basically, one of the things I wanted to kind of touch on before we jumped into theories was I was trying to like do some research and figure out a little bit about the footprints that have been found, the Bigfoot footprints that have been found. But I was really surprised to find that like there wasn't really a whole lot of information out there. And I don't know if maybe I'm just, in the wrong place for it. I know there are multiple museums that do have a lot of information on the footprints, and they have casts of the footprints, or at least replicas of casts of the footprints.
Yeah.
And
questionable authenticity.
I think, the majority of them are in the Pacific Northwest, but I think there's also even some on the East Coast, or at least one. And I can't remember the name of it now. But one thing that I did also find when I was searching was that you can buy replica casts for lots of money.
See,
but you can like oh, I would like this one, please, sent to me, thank you. But so that's an option.
That would be kind of fun, but I feel like you could like just find get a little patch of dirt. You can like mold a footprint in it, pour a little of your own just like cheap concrete mix, and bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
Fun craft idea. Fun craft idea. You can do it with your kids, Taisha. I can do it with my cats. It'll be so fun.
Yes, you can definitely make your own Bigfoot footprint.
Yep.
And lots of people have.
Yeah.
One of the, like, I tried to find like what the earliest one found was, and AI tried to tell me that it was like 1811. Couldn't find anything else confirming that.
Was it the stupid like AI like result that pops up first? I cannot figure out how to turn those off because they're very often wrong.
Very wrong. And I was like, I didn't believe it, and especially when I went looking for it in more information and couldn't find anything, I was like, okay, yes, you're full of baloney, thank you. But what I did find was kind of in the 1950s, was when no, that one's not the Patterson one, but there was someone that was like, oh, I found this Bigfoot footprint, and they made this cast, and it was a whole big ordeal, but it was like near where some loggers worked, and eventually it came out that it was a hoax. The guy had just used like a stamp, like a big wooden stamp foot to trick the loggers. And that's one thing that you'll find, right? One thing you'll find with like faked Bigfoot prints is it's just kind of real flat. There's not the heel toe push off that you would see in a bipedal upright footprint.
It's not just a perfect like stamp down and directly back up.
Right. But yeah, and then, there's the Patterson Gimel video.
Gimlin film, the Patterson Gimlin video. Yeah.
And no footprints from that I think I am aware of, but it was just the video, the iconic walking and the arms swaying. But yes, I mean, lots of sightings. There's lots of Bigfoot shows now.
I have a little tea on the Patterson Gimlin film.
Ooh.
Are we ready for this? And
spill it.
I will admit, for most of my life, I was like, you know what? I think that footage is real. I think that's Bigfoot. But then I learned. So the guy that caught that video, it's, the famous, like you said, like Bigfoot kind of like walking, and everyone clips it when he's mid-stride and turned to the camera. But before he had captured that, he was actually working on a Bigfoot kind of mockumentary, and the premises was going to be him and guys, and they're going through the woods, they're tracking down this Sasquatch, they're hot on his tail and stuff. And the creation of this mockumentary kind of implies that they would need a Bigfoot suit, and then that project is scrapped. It's like radio silent for a few months, and then all of a sudden, boom, he releases this footage Oh, it's a little bit suspicious.
Oh, that
That's
is
a little
very
suspicious.
suspicious.
And someone fact checked me on that, but I've heard that, and I feel like I researched it at some point in the last 2 or 3 years, but I have short-term memory, so. But there was allegedly going to be a Bigfoot mockumentary, and that would imply a Bigfoot suit, and then he's like, oopsie, actually, look at this Bigfoot footage I found. Anyways, food for thought.
There you go. And I think that there also has not even just been like footprints found, but like I think one of the museums has a Bigfoot butt print.
Wait, that's actually so funny though.
So, I know, I mean, I have mentioned them before, but Greg and Dana Newkirk, they have a podcast called the Haunted Objects Podcast, and they have a Bigfoot episode, which is hilarious, and they go into all that, the butt print, and there's, it's been a while since I've listened to it now, but, like a handprint in Nutella, and they run some tests in studio of if you can leave like fingerprints or like finger indents into Nutella and have it stay that way, because there was someone saying that they found that they had left out Nutella for a Bigfoot and it put its hands in there, and
okay.
But yeah, so I highly recommend checking that out. As kind of a follow-up for
that's
this
the kind
episode.
of investigative journalism that I can really appreciate.
Yes, they are on it. They are sacrificing themselves. They are doing the hard work.
Sacrificed Nutella for it. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Bigfoot butt print. I thought you were going to say a Bigfoot poop. I bet there's people out there that claim to have found
I'm
Bigfoot
sure.
poop. Yeah.
I am sure. Well, and you had mentioned like the video where they were like, we found these hairs and we don't know what they're from.
I did. I texted you about that the other day because we were talking about how this was going to be a topic brought up. And I remember so vividly being a kid watching some kind of Bigfoot documentary, and in it, they find this cluster of like thick, wiry brown hair in the woods, and they're like, we have not been able to link this to any known species. And I remember being a kid and just being like, oh my god, like they actually found Bigfoot hair. It was probably not Bigfoot hair, but
we always will believe.
But the butt print, I am going to choose to believe that that's real. Because that's really funny.
Well, and you would think that would be something that would be come across in woods.
Yeah, he's got to sit.
Might be more difficult to like pick out and be like, oh yeah, that's a butt print versus like a footprint. But
I mean, he's got to rest his bipedal legs like anyone else. And a lot of like drawings and depictions you'll see of Bigfoot, he's kind of got a fat dumpy. So that's gonna leave some craters in the earth wherever he sits.
Right?
Anyways, yeah.
So the theories on what a Sasquatch is. I've got a couple here. So one of the kind of earliest ones was the wild man. And unfortunately, that one is kind of come about because of like colonization and
of course it did.
Racism and things like that.
Yeah.
But the idea of, either a child that was born in the wild and raised by wolves kind of a thing, or, a child born that just wasn't fully right, and so they got left in the woods and raised up. They became what is a Bigfoot. Not one definitely that I would subscribe to.
Yeah, that seems just not good. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that just sums it up. Not very good, not very kind, not very Yeah, just kind of wrong.
Yeah.
There's some better
and so then
theories.
yeah, so then kind of next from that is like the new species theory, or like the unknown species, or something left behind from like the Ice Age era or something, because it's so hairy. And I feel like that is one that gets a little bit more traction with people, that
Yeah.
it's a like just a species of human that we just haven't figured out yet.
Some weird
Because they're so
brand.
elusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some weird brand that somehow evolved differently and I don't know, is still with us.
Yes. You know,
we
totally
just
possible.
we just never see them, and we've never found a body, and we've never had an actual video that's not grainy or AI. So
Yeah, yeah. Which then kind of leads into some of the other more recent theories, which kind of go in, well, I guess kind of in between that, we could put the indigenous theory that Sasquatch is a spirit. It's a relative, an ancestor that we learn from to.
yeah, it's not like this physical, tangible. Maybe they can manifest like that, but yeah, the spirit theory is it's one that I side with, definitely
Right,
more than the
right.
others.
Yes. But then I feel like recently I've seen where it's kind of gone a little bit more than that. And
Oh,
like, could Bigfoot be a ghost? Or like a spirit, like visitor from beyond, extraterrestrial, interdimensional
ooh,
being?
alien Bigfoot. Yeah. Now we're talking. That would explain footprints that just stamp down and then go back up because he's like being
Oh,
lowered from the spaceship but
landed.
then beamed back up. There we
There
go.
you go.
There we go.
Hmm.
Connecting
Well,
the dots.
and I've heard people explain it as like, well, that's why we never really see them, because like they just come here like for vacation and then they head back to where they're from, and that's why there's not
Why,
really.
why would you want to come to the United States of America for vacation?
It's a good question. But yeah, so those were kind of the different theories that I had come across, and I don't know, like I feel like the more spirit version of Sasquatch feels to ring most true for me.
Yeah, yeah. I really like how they put it. The video, what was it called? The Oregon Historical Society call it Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Istiaha. Indigenous peoples know it as Protector. It's by Oregon Experience on YouTube, and that's the one that we keep referencing throughout this episode. It's like 24, 25 minutes long. Go watch it right now because they just really dive into this spirit element. They emphasize like
Hmm.
Bigfoot. All these white men are trying, they want to hunt down Bigfoot and capture him and study him and kill him and taxidermy him and put him on display. But the indigenous people here, they're just like, you can't exactly like do that. Like, he's a spirit, he's a protector of the land. They believe Bigfoot is behind, a lot of, like, I think an example that they gave is when loggers, their equipment just like somehow just like stops working inexplicably or
Hmm.
is broken or something. They're like, hey, you're destroying the land. It's probably Bigfoot. So, and I'm not opposed Bigfoot activism, like do your thing.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Say not Bigfoot related, but related to like logging equipment not working anymore. I Scary as Folk, who we've talked about on this podcast before.
Snaps for scary as folk. Yeah.
Yes, they did a like 24-hour folk horror movie marathon, and it was yesterday, and they played a movie I hadn't seen before called Clear Cut, and it was about indigenous. It was like took place in Canada, and it was indigenous dealing with the logging and like trying to put in a road and stuff, but it was folk horror with that. And you could say that one of the characters took on the spirit of Bigfoot, I think.
Yep. Okay, I need to watch that. I follow Scary as Folk, but I did not keep up with their movie thing they were doing. But good for Bigfoot. This is kind of related. So there was someone I knew. He wasn't sure. I don't think he specified that it was like a Bigfoot, but it was definitely some kind of like indigenous nature spirit was the belief, because it was construction of a new home that was going on. And this was years ago. But it's always, the story always stuck with me when he was telling it. These people, they were trying to build this new home, which did include like clearing a little bit of land. It wasn't much, but just everything was going wrong. People were getting hurt on the job site. Things are going missing and breaking. And they're just like, okay, this is getting actually really weird. Like, what's happening? And so this guy I knew, he was like, I mean, you probably upset the nature spirits. And because he knows about all of this and has practiced in it and part of it, he brought, I don't know what kind of alcohol it was, like whiskey or something, and he brought tobacco and the type of things that are normal to offer, that indigenous people of North America offer to nature spirits, deities and stuff, and leaves it and kind of says like, hey, listen, like, this project is happening, like, we're really sorry, but here, take these offerings. Boom, construction, everything else went smooth sailing. And that's always stuck with me. And now anytime I'm like out in nature doing anything, like I'm always like, I'm so aware that like I'm part of settler family on indigenous land and there's spirits out here. And I'm like, hello, like I can be your friend. Like, we're cool. Love nature. Not going to cut down trees.
Right. Yeah.
But the story is very Bigfoot core. I'm like, maybe that was Bigfoot.
All right. Well, that was all I had for you. Oh.
I have, okay, because I warned you, I could literally go on and on and on and on and on about this. I do have some other little Bigfoot things that I could ramble
go
about.
for it, yes.
And I know I've learned some of this just from, like, moving up here to the Pacific Northwest and being like, okay, well, I'm Bigfoot territory, I gotta learn. So I know that some people claim that the first Bigfoot footprint was in 1811, so we're going way back, found by this British fur trader. I have his name. I wrote his name down. I'm horrible
Okay,
with names.
see, and that's what I was trying to find that the AI said, and I was like not finding much on it, so I was like,
it doesn't really have substance because this fur trader, cartographer guy, David Thompson, he explored a lot of my neck of the woods and going up to Canada. And he found these large, see, some of the... Okay, I'm a Bigfoot lover. I love cryptids, love the spooky community around it, but a lot of people really cherry pick and are very biased in trying to prove these things. And so what a lot of people will say is that this guy, in his notes, and this is true, in his notes, he was on a plot of land near Jasper, Alberta, up in Canada, and he finds these footprints. They measure 14 inches in length, 8 inches in width. And people are like, that's Bigfoot, baby. But if you just keep reading his notes a little bit longer, he also mentions that they're likely bear paw prints because they also have the pointed claws, and he's seen them before. He's a surveyor and a cartographer. Like, wasn't his first time encountering them. He did note that it was slightly different shaped than a grizzly bear paw, which is what he compared it to, but there's lots of different kinds of bears. And so that's, a lot of people will say, yeah, first Bigfoot footprint was found in 1811. Well, no, you just need to keep reading the notes and find the bits that everyone likes to edit out. So otherwise it doesn't fit the Bigfoot agenda. Also, not a fun fact, he married a 13-year-old. But they didn't officiate, or I guess, like, they didn't formalize their marriage until 13 years later, and they had 13 children, and that's kind of weird.
That's odd.
That's a lot of 13s. It's kind of weird. What else do I have? There was, similar to the logging incident kind of prank with the footprints that were found by loggers. There was something like that out here near St. Helens, Washington, big mountain. In 1922, this group of men were staying at a cabin in the Plains of Abraham near Mount St. Helen. They were searching for gold. They were mining for gold. And one day, one of them, allegedly, he gets up early and he goes outside and he finds huge footprints. And he goes back to his friends and he's like, hey, everybody, I found these crazy footprints. Whoa, look at these. And they're like, oh, my goodness, it's crazy. They apparently keep finding footprints. On top of that, they start hearing weird sounds, like knocking and pounding sounds late at night. And it was probably machinery echoing around. But anyways, this goes on for a couple of years. These guys are just like held up in this little cabin mining for gold. And in 1924, they allege that they actually see who was responsible. And it was these 7-foot-tall, hairy, humanoid things. And they claim that they started attacking them and they were throwing boulders at them. And all this crazy stuff. And this whole event would be called the Ape Canyon Attack.
Yes.
However, by all accounts, this didn't necessarily happen. So none of the men like openly came out about it. They did these creatures. This was, I think, before like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, terms like that were coined for it. They called it mountain devils. Which is kind of cool. And apparently there's a lake nearby called Spirit Lake. So again, I'm like, okay, I am loving the vibes. But the tabloids just kind of heard about like, oh, these miners were like attacked by something. And then they just started like going absolutely crazy with it. And the creatures are getting taller each printing and more dramatic. And they're staging photos with guys dressed up as miners and printing it, and people are thinking it was these guys, and they just, because I mean, I watched a video on it at some point. I'll also put it in the show notes on YouTube. The guy equated it to like the 1920s version of clickbait, and I was like, yep, that checks out.
Sounds about right.
And then like 40 years after that happened in the 1960s, one of the original guys from that crew, again, 40 years later, would finally like come forward and be like, I was part of it. And yes, we were attacked, and he wrote a book about it. But by that point, he was in his 80s, and it's all very weird. Who knows what went on out there. But that's another thing from also my neck of the woods. Have you ever heard of the Bigfoot is Cain from the Bible?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just like jumping all over the place, but
No, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
These are the mad ramblings of someone sometimes with too much free time on their hands and access to Google. But I think it's specifically the Mormon branch. Admittedly, I do not know my Bible very well, but in the Mormon branch of things, they have a story that part of Cain's punishment for killing Abel, they were the first sons of Adam and Eve, correct?
Yes.
So, like, God makes Adam and Eve, they have Cain and Abel. For anyone that doesn't know Bible stuff or knows less than I do. But Cain kills his brother Abel, and as part of his punishment is that he's covered in this hair, and he has to roam the earth forever as this beast, this hideous, disgusting beast. And so some people think that Bigfoot, there's only like one Bigfoot, but it's actually Cain from the Mormon branch of biblical beliefs and folklore. That's a fun one. But then
yes,
I'll end with my favorite theory, my favorite Bigfoot theory ever. And it is that Bigfoot is gay. Potentially, because if Bigfoot, this is going into like if Bigfoot is some kind of primate or weird branch of humans that evolved alongside us. A lot of us are gay, a lot of primates are gay, and so Bigfoot might be gay. And if I'm not mistaken, there was some like, I don't know if she was an anthropologist or what, some lady kind of came up with this theory, and it got the homophobes in the cryptid community very upset. And so that makes me appreciate the theory that much more. And so
Yes.
I think that's a very good note for me to end my ramblings with. So sorry for like hijacking the last 10 minutes.
No, I appreciate it because, like I said, I felt bad that it was probably going to be a short episode, and then here we are at 50 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what? As soon as we stop recording, I'm going to be like, ooh, I should have said this. Like, all the weird, like, people faking Bigfoot bodies and taking them on tour and making people buy tickets, and it's just like a Bigfoot suit that they made it look dirty and froze it in a cube of ice or something. you know? Yeah, Bigfoot, man.
But yes, we would love to hear your theories on what you believe Bigfoot is. If you agree with any of the ones we stated, or if you've got something new, we'd love to hear it. We'll have posts on Instagram. I think we usually put the episodes up on Substack, so give us your theories. You can send us an email, ottaanthropology@gmail.com.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Taisha, your mic stayed connected the whole time.
Woohoo!
Taisha's mic likes to magically switch from her nice mic to the ones in her AirPods, which some listeners might notice, and like a change in quality. And for once, whatever witch put a curse on us, or Bigfoot, the protector, protected you and your microphone. Thank you, Bigfoot, so much.
Thank you,
We love
Sasquatch.
you. We're really big fans. Thank you.
Yes.
We don't have to do a freezer spell on the witch that was cursing it. She's not going in the freezer.
Lots of callbacks to last episode.
Too many, perhaps, but oh well.
It's our podcast. We can do what we want.
Yeah. And if we want to talk about really weird Bigfoot stuff, like Bigfoot is Kane, then we can.
It's happening.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And don't forget to find all our socials and everything linked below that Taisha mentioned. And stay odd.
Do it.
Yep. Do it. Or you're going in the freezer. Okay. All right. I'm just going to stop recording now. Bye.
Okay, bye.